That Nicolas Cage wig just keeps getting longer and longer after every movie.
Well, at this point, it's not just a toupee, it's a wig. So I can almost kind of forgive it.
I will say this. I will pay to go see a Nicolas Cage movie just to see his hair.
I know.
But I have to admit, though, that wig or whatever it was looked fucking fantastic, though, because I was really looking at it going, wow, well, he should stick with this look. I'm like, well, he is a magician or a sorcerer, so he must have used that Rogaine Patronum fucking or something. I was like, wow.
I know.
Keep that up.
I'll wait for that.
Is he called Harry Potter, who's a specialty in that type of thing?
I know. That fool's going to be Rapunzel in the Disney live-action remake.
You can tell he came from the days of King Arthur because he didn't know that hairstyle is way out of style. in the year 2000.
I have to give his hairstylist a better than sex for this movie.
John Paul Mitchell.
No, his hair is very chic with the homeless.
Hey, man, if you got as much power as his character has in this film, who gives a shit what people think about your hair, to be fair? And they did kind of establish that. Like, fuck you. I blow your ass to smithereens if I accidentally blink too many times.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, in the movie, he plays this ancient sorcerer who comes from I don't know what the first three sorcerers ever.
Well, he was the students to Merlin.
Yeah, he worked with Merlin. And it was him.
Back when the world was young.
In medieval times. Merlin was training like three really kick-ass sorcerers back then.
He had three apprentices.
Balthazar was Nicolas Cage, and I have no idea what the other two guys were called.
One
was Alfred Molina,
whose name is Horsbath, I think.
Something like that.
And the other was
Horvath.
And the other was Pikachu.
And there was a hot chick.
Veronica. What's her name? Bettalucci.
Monica
Bellucci, who is just fine doing whatever she wants to do in a movie.
Yes, she can do that. She got magic right in her ass right there. She don't do anything else. No, and so something happened where they all had a falling out in Horsbath, which is the Alfred Molina character.
Horsbath?
That's what it sounded like to me.
How are you not going to go wrong?
Exactly. That's an awesome name.
Every time they said that name, I was like, Horsbath? Really? No wonder the dude is pissed off.
Yeah. Horsbath and Bulbasaur?
And something happened
He turned on them.
Yeah, he turned on them, so he got together, you're right, with Morgana, the evil magician.
Played by Alice Kriege.
Yes, and Balthazar, who is the Nicolas Cage character, he was powerful enough and lucky enough, and with the aid of Monica Bellucci, was able to lock them away for centuries. And now, in modern day, he's looking for the next apprentice who will help him keep this other evil sorcerer at bay and also take on the heir of the next great wizard.
Well, they're looking for what they call it, the new Merlinian.
The Merlinian.
Like Merlin dies. And I was like, really, guys? Merlinian?
That was a bit of a stretch.
You could come up with a better name than that.
Well, if Merlin
was unobtainium taken?
Yeah, Merlin would be embarrassed by that. Come on, man. Really? He's the next magician. He's not
better than the new Merlin dude.
I know. You wait for George Lucas to step in and say, it's midichlorians. All the magic here.
No, but I got to say, you know what? For this plot to have all this magic people traveling through time and living forever, it's still, as far as collaborations between John Turteltaub and Nicolas Cage, a lot more realistic than National Treasure.
I do, yeah. John Turteltaub did National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. He also, he did some good movies. I did like, what was it, Cool Runnings? What was it?
Did he do that one with the Jamaican bobsled?
With the Jamaican bobsledding team? I
know I see his name on episodes of Sanford and Son, so I'll give him credit for that.
He did episodes of Sanford and Son?
Yeah, he was like a writer or producer.
Oh, he was a writer? That's okay. Yeah, he did Cool Runnings, he did Three Ninjas, he did a whole bunch of.
Are you sure he wasn't one of Merlin's apprentices? Going back that far.
One thing about this, like all this we've told you so far, they tell you in the first 5 minutes of the film, and you're watching it, and it's like it feels like a TV show, like one of those previously on the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and that's like not even mildly exaggerated, because that's exactly what it does. It's like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then oh god, this happened, that sucked, and then we did this, and you're like, wait, what?
You ain't
this
lying.
week's episode,
you said that for a long time. Well, they read the storybook of these characters. It's like, guys,
you filmed it. Can't we just see the actual thing play out here?
An epic fight between Merlin and Morgana. The fate of the world is at hand.
Merlin Cliff Notes.
Well, we're going to get in that whole TV thing because that's a big role in my criticism of this film. Now, of course, they want to take a different spin on this. I mean, it's always, when they come back to like seek this person out, he's the what did they say in Aladdin? He was the diamond in the rough. Diamond in the rough. Yeah, you're looking for like this big husky, powerful guy. No, it's the weakest guy that you could ever
Yeah.
think of, who would never ever be thought of as a great sorcerer.
You know, it's the kid that the radioactive spider was going to bite, but then somebody stole his lunch money and it missed him and jumped on
Now,
him.
Oh, I
he's
thought-
a wizard, not a barbarian, okay?
Yeah.
Wizards are little nerdy guys. That's kind of the reason they learn and spend all this time reading books how to decimate people with fireballs and shit.
Because they can't do it with their
they
hands.
can't lift a sword.
It's funny because, like in wizard school, you know, it's the little geeky nerdy guy that's getting all the chicks and all the jocks. Like, oh shit, here comes Murdick or whatever.
Why do you think those movies are so popular right now?
Yeah, little kid going around zapping jocks for their lunch money and shit. Come on, give it up, give it up.
It's like a magical version of fucking Grease.
Look, wedgie, no hands. but man, oops, whoops, oh,
See,
look
there
at
it goes.
that.
It's all falling apart now. I believe it's magic.
Way under your bed. You're still going all wild.
Well, you know what? I got the magical big feet. I got these magical size 13s that can reach anything in this room.
No shit.
Watch.
Don't ever sit in a stall because you're going to get proposition.
Those are some big fucking feet.
I know.
He's Sasquatch, isn't he?
Hey,
you just shave
Krusty
him
the
down.
Clown.
You just shave him down every night before we come over to record.
you see Coles over there?
Hey, I mean, hit me with your Aladdin boots.
But who is the producer on this?
Really? How do I?
Jerry Bruckheimer.
Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah, the reason why I
Sorry.
say this is because if you watch any of these Jerry Bruckheimer crime shows, are those shows where they go
CSI and that
CSI
sort of
and all
thing.
that kind of stuff. This movie, Jerry Bruckheimer is making these movies as not only entertainment, but they're functioning as promotion for music. And there's always a break in these TV shows that he does where they have to play the soundtrack by the latest big artist. This movie stops about 3 times to play you a soundtrack by some upcoming pop star. And I'm like, I don't mind a soundtrack in a movie if it fits the story.
I would prefer, if we're going to do product placement, just go, oh, wow, this Dr. Pepper is good. Because it's out of the way like that. I don't have to sit and watch a montage.
This movie just stops and people don't even talk. They just look up while the song is playing.
You're waiting for the camera to veer to the right and have the fucking Jonas Brothers Jr. Whoever the fuck was on the soundtrack, because you're absolutely right. If we were to start complaining about what we didn't like, that's one of the things that really bothered me, because they did their best to insert that song any way they could, any random scene that had made no sense.
I'm surprised Morgana Le Fay didn't summon Nickelback.
And magically bringing their careers back.
Well, I mean, she's evil, but she ain't that evil. Come on.
Wow, Morgana Le Fay.
No, it's a movie that's over. It's almost like with music. I never use this term with movies. It's overly produced, and the point that the producer really is trying to cross promote several different things in one film.
It's slick to the point of being gross.
Yeah, and and I wouldn't even mind it so much. Like I said, if the story was any good, but really, this is reminding me not of just Harry Potter, which I'm sure some people are going to say, well, this is another magic movie trying to ride that. No, this reminds me of some of the weak movies that have come out trying to follow Harry Potter, like Percy Jackson.
You know, I'll be fair though, and although Percy Jackson I think is one of my favorites of those, it's still not a really good movie or anything, but it's one of the better. I put this up there with Percy Jackson. There were things about this movie I did like.
Well, you and I both put it up there, except I didn't like Percy Jackson.
Well, I mean, I think Nicolas Cage actually did a good job in this part. He was convincing in this part. I got him totally in this. If he just didn't have to talk to the whiny, irritating Jay
Baruchel.
Yeah, that's what we got to say. The guy that comes back who he's trying to like turn into his apprentice
like
wizard is Jay Baruchel.
A nerd, yes, but this guy is just not a second that you believe him as this character.
You know,
Well, shit, I don't even believe him. He's trying to play a 20-year-old, and this guy's clearly knocking the hell out of 30.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is the kind of movie.
magic.
This is one of those movies.
Yeah, his makeup guy was a wizard.
Yeah, during every time they introduced him, there should have been some guy in the background going, "It's magic."
Pretty much. I mean, this is the kind of movie that I go into that probably gets a better rating for me than it normally would, because I go in going like, man, Nicolas Cage, Bruckheimer, Turtletop, this is going to be a piece of shit. I don't even want to see it. And I was like, you know what? It's actually kind of charming in its own way. For kids, I can see like it's got a great movement to it. Nicolas Cage is actually pretty good. Alfred Molina is great.
Has some really terrific action sequences.
Yeah, it does.
in it.
And I like the way they handle magic. It's different from Harry Potter. They managed to do that. But every time I would start to like it, fucking Jay Baruchel
Would do
I
something
mean,
irritating.
I just thought he was horrible. I couldn't stand the way he acted. I couldn't stand his voice. He had what was supposed to be humor, his nerd humor of being awkward, but it was just the same thing over and over
Well,
again.
we're beginning to see him. He's becoming in that actor in the vein of Michael Cera, where
Yes.
he's playing the same guy over and over again. It's enough that if it was him, it would be okay, but it's a character that he's continuously playing.
You're right.
It's a character. It's a third generation. You bring up Michael Cera. It's a third generation of other characters. I mean, and he's got this Jerry Lewis voice,
And that's the thing.
Like, you spend sometimes just going,
And that's where his downfall is. It's his voice.
2 weeks ago, I was just a normal college kid. And then he showed up.
I mean, this guy, honestly, he works better as a cartoon character.
Yes,
he should be,
I thought that too.
He should
He
be
should- How to
working
Train
in
Your
nothing but
Dragon,
Pixar
he was
films.
awesome.
He should be a
and
character
animated,
actor,
yeah.
not a lead actor, because he has that stumbling block. I actually don't think he's a bad actor, but he can't get past that quality of the way his voice sounds.
he's another
just
Napoleon
unconvincing.
Dynamite.
And you watch him, and like everybody wants to see the nerd get the girl in these movies, but he's so nerdy that when he does, you cringe. You're like, oh, don't touch him.
because they keep pairing him up with girls, and you like, I don't care if you got magic or not, you ain't getting a girl that fine.
No, there's that
Not
movie
you.
he was in before
Well-
this. She's out of your league, and she totally was. I'm sorry.
no.
He should have. Sweet moral and all that, but no, he should have backed away from that. Said, "There's no way."
She
You're-
should have ran
And
from him
that,
in hard.
well, that chick was made out of magic because she was like a combination of like, what is it? Kristen Stewart and Amber Heard.
Amber Heard.
Yeah, I mean, where I was like, each time I saw her in different shots, I was like, hey, it's Amber Heard's in this. Oh no. Oh, Kristen Stewart. Oh no. It's
Well,
not
the
her.
actress in this is her name's Teresa Palmer, and you can tell these movies are written by nerds and guys who did not get the girl in high school. They're like, well, I can make it happen in a movie, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah,
And guys who haven't obviously haven't read any Harry Potter.
And you're right. When Nicolas Cage starts showing up and helping out Jay Baruchel, grooming him to be the next great wizard, I never bought it because he never seems confident enough to pull that role. Even when he starts to become his own and into his own with his magic and everything, I'm still waiting to come out and like, I'll save you with the eyes and the eyes and the eyes and the face.
You know what? He's Jerry Lewis in this throughout this whole
Yeah.
movie, really. But despite all that, though, I have to admit, I actually had fun watching this movie.
Yeah, same
and
here.
I think Nicolas Cage really saved it a lot of times because.
which you almost never say.
You're right, and I was really blown away. I was like, wow, he's actually playing a character, and it's a character that I actually like. My only one complaint though is with that lead guy is. He's not a fucking mouse. What the hell's going on, man? What is going on in this movie world where the Sorcerer's Apprentice is supposed to be a fucking mouse, right?
Yes.
Am I right or am I
And,
wrong?
man, thank you. You joking, but I'm there with you.
He did
'Cause
have big ears.
I do. Yeah. He did.
and I'm sure he has a mouse in his hand most of the time.
Yeah. If you
like-
cross Jerry
yeah.
Lewis with a mouse, you
Yeah.
get this character movie. No, you're joking, but I totally agree with you. Look, I'm a little biased here because Fantasia, one of my favorite movies of all time.
I agree.
My favorite segment in there is The Sorcerer's Apprentice. I don't mind Disney cannibalizing its own properties to regenerate them to make money. All right, that's fine. But here, I thought they did it in one of the most lazy ways possible, and they try to like do some homage in here,
Okay.
which I thought was just, I thought it was terrible.
They took
it was beyond terrible.
They took a
because
tiny thing and expanded it to a whole movie, which is what Disney does now. That's their entire thing. We
And I don't
run
mind
out
that.
of properties we own, so we're going to take things like a single ride and turn it into a whole movie. or
Yeah, the
whatever.
whole scene where the mops are going crazy,
Right.
and in the animated Sorcerer's Apprentice, they try to do a scene like that in here. Again, don't mind if they want to tip their hat to that, but it's
Oh,
done.
And they crowbarred it in. They
Yeah.
really did. They crowbarred it in.
And like you co-host, I was actually, despite myself, enjoying this movie and thinking like, what a fun movie for a family to go see, kids, adults, ride along with it. They get to that scene and it just dropped all the way down, and it never fully recovered for me after
the
that.
only way it would have worked for me is one of them damn mops pick Jay Baruchel up and start dipping his ass in water.
Wait a minute, boys! Well, did you notice towards the end of that scene, one of the mops was like trying to rape him? Yeah, trying to do him up the butt.
That was weird.
That was the only part that I did like. I was like, okay, that I believe.
It's like all those other mops held him hostage, or held him down while one mop bent over and took a running start right into his ass with that stick.
Yeah, the mops were like, hey, look, it's the sorcerer's bitch. Let's fucking go have our fun with it. Come on.
But you know what, man? I'm complaining about a lot in this movie, and I'm not a fan of it really. But I'm with you. There's some things I enjoyed. There's a really cool scene with Chinese dragon that turns into like this big real dragon, and I thought that was some fun. I mean, I'm not.
It was fun.
Yeah, I'm not against special effects. I'm shallow,
it's not
but
perfect CG, but it does what it needs to do for the scene, and it's entertaining.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love the fact that you see the guys inside the dragon operating it as it's turning into a real dragon.
Like, hey, wait a minute,
what the fuck?
where did this meat come from?
Their expressions like after that scene just had me cracking them because they look like real guys who were just thrown in the scene like, oh God, what the?
I know.
Is the way it has magic going on in our current world is great. The way they figured all that out. I mean, it's not that the effects are groundbreaking. It's just clever the way it works. What doesn't work and constantly takes you out of the film is the way these characters relate to each other. I mean, the lead character, Jay Baruchel.
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 Borrow rule shit.
He does my biggest pet peeve in these type of films. He's constantly going like, but I don't want any part of this.
God,
I don't want to be a powerful magician.
No,
or he'll be like, wow, that was awesome. Wait, no, I don't want it. Seriously? Who can identify with that?
I was going to say that. Anyone that's in this room, if somebody came and showed you how to levitate something, wouldn't you be at that guy's door every day and say, show me something else?
I mean, you're selling this movie to people who want to believe in this world, who want to identify with a character like Harry Potter, and you want them to keep identifying with a guy who does nothing but whine about having to fight versus evil to save the
I
world
know.
and being the chosen
He
one.
shows him like,
what is that shit?
He's like, Nicolas Cage is like, hey, look, I'm gonna blow this up with my hand. I'm gonna teach you how to do that. Isn't that cool? He's like, please don't make me do that.
Oh man, you just wanted it. I
can't do that.
I was the nerd in high school, and I wanted to jump on screen and beat the shit out of him,
man, even-
shove his ass into a
Urkel would
locker.
call that guy a pussy.
No.
Well, you know what? And the other thing is, I think I'm in agreement with everybody. The thing I like the most in this, it's two things. Nicolas Cage and Alfred Molina. I mean, you got, look, for all our making fun of Nicolas Cage and his hair pieces and whatnot, Nicolas Cage is somebody that we all love. We just want to see him do well and choose a good script because we love him. I do.
I enjoy him. Yeah.
When he's in the right role, he's just wonderful.
When he's actually in something good, no, he really shines. I mean, he can pull it out. I think as long as the material is strong. Yeah, he was probably my second favorite part of this film, just because honestly, with the lead guy, you were honest. For me, I was rooting for the villains because I was just like, will somebody like do something to this guy to really make him take this whole idea seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the magic.
What he needed was like a wizard Denzel Washington from Training Day.
Right.
Riding around with. How would that go? I want to hear the scene. I want to see
you did it now, Leon.
Oh, why'd I do that?
Well, he'd be like bitching about King Kong. He's like, oh yeah, we can actually test and see if he has anything on you or not.
Like he actually, like when, like Jay Bruce was actually.
You know Latin? You better learn that shit.
Brush up on that shit. We got Sorcerer here ready to do some evil things. Like Jay Bruce was actually shooting magic from his hands and doesn't know it. He's like, what did you do to me? Witchcraft. Yeah. Sorcery. That's what you did.
Houdini ain't got shit on me. I said it, all right?
Smoke this. It's hair of the Banshee. Man.
But you know what, man? The way they explain the magic in the movie, I think, is cool because they explain it by combining science. They say, look, it's not just manipulating things out of nowhere. It's like you think about how the particles operate with the ether and all that. It's like
magic is having an effect on science and the way the world works,
and
that was cool.
You've heard how people use only 10% of their brains. Sorcerers can manipulate matter because they're born with the capability to use the entire power of their brains.
So wait, is sorcery science or magic?
Yes and yes. For now, all you need is a basic combat spell, making fire. What causes molecules to heat up?
They vibrate?
Everything we see is in a constant state of vibration, thus the illusion of solidity. But how do we take that which appears solid and have it burst into flames? We will the vibrations to go faster. Step 1, clear your mind. Step 2, see the molecules. Step 3, make them shake. Got it?
No, I definitely don't got it.
It was like you never see that. You never see that take on things.
Give us some magic cough drops.
All the enzymes and shit coagulate.
It becomes effervescent.
And to your inner self, have mercy.
Yeah, it sucks in the magic and effervescence.
Casting a magic effect spell in this whole room, where next week we're going to be the ones like.
I know. No, man, I like this movie. I don't hate it. I enjoy parts of it, but like I said, it just seemed like a bit of marketing gone too far. And Really, I watched this, and it really does mimic Percy Jackson to a T to me. It's magic set in the middle of New York. They have battles on top of buildings using elements. I'm like, I'm watching the same film over again.
Can't we fucking find another place to do battle? Can't we go to like fucking Arizona or something? Some place where it's believable.
You can at least blow up a bunch of racists.
Yeah. Well, they need to blow up some shit. Yeah.
I'm sure when the magicians get over here, they stop at Oklahoma first, and they go like, damn, it ain't nothing but cows and rednecks. Let's go to New York.
Yeah. Well, they got skyscrapers and everything.
Well, there's no place to do battle in New York because fucking Percy Jackson blew up half of it.
I like this a lot.
Well, hold on. I don't think I get my rating. Yeah. No, I was gonna say no. Other than that, I don't. Oh, okay. I just rent them.
I like this a lot better than Percy Jackson. I mean, I'm probably prejudiced against Percy Jackson because I read the book and I saw how they butchered it. But just even watching it, it's just like, man, it's just kind of joyless to me. With this movie, despite everything I thought going in, I had fun. It died for me in that point and never recovered. And still, I think, you know what? This movie is not meant for me. It is meant for people to take their families to, and it's a good one to go. And I don't know. I feel like it's a low matinee.
I feel like we're all dancing around the same points here. But it got ruined for me so badly by the way the story just was unconvincing, the way these characters didn't act like real people at all. And that, like I was saying, the kids who the film is supposed to be motivating to like this guy are going to go, what the fuck? Suck it up, dork. I mean, because you can't help it. You're like, man, he's the dorkiest dork who ever dorked. And it's irritating, quite frankly. Every time you start to like it, it makes you hate this character so much. True. So it loses an entire, step down for me. I would have given this a high matinee if they had just made his character likable, but as it is, it's a high rental.
You know what? You know what? You convinced me.
Did I?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a high rental. You're absolutely right.
Man, what? Can't do that.
Wait, what's your argument? Maybe I'll change back.
No.
What's your magic?
The thing is, walking into this, when I first realized that, seeing the trailer, I thought it was just going to be called Joey and his magic boots or something. And then when I saw the Sorcerer's Apprentice, I was like, it made me fucking groan. I was like, really? You're going to take that wonderful bit from Fantasia and exploit it and just market it up to your bullshit? Which they do, but you know what? Shockingly enough, it entertained me. I was actually entertained. I was thoroughly entertained. I love the car chase scene in this movie, which we really didn't talk about, which I thought was pretty goddamn amazing. It really was. So I'm giving it a matinee. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back to Matt.
No, stop it. No,
you can't do that.
I know he didn't talk you into a matinee. I listened to that too, and there's no way.
All right,
I don't know how you could do that after how this movie just disrespected Mickey so much.
It did, but hey, you know what? Like I said, it entertained me. If I'm entertained, I'm entertained. I'm sorry.
I didn't even. Mickey is whoring himself out these days. And
I didn't even put it together that this was that when I read the title, and because I was like, no, of course they wouldn't do that. That's just dumb.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
there's no connection.
That's why I did not make that connection either until I talked to Carla at the theater. He's like, no, this is the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
You could cut out that scene entirely, one scene, and the film would be not only be better for it, but you would never, ever in a billion years guess it was connected.
I think, and you're so right. That scene should have never even been in there. I think it would have made a little bit, I don't know how much, but a little bit better movie for me.
Oh, much better. For you, I mean, for me, it would have been much better.
Yeah, wish Mickey would have come in with a bat and just stop my thunder, motherfucker!
Nicholas Cage ain't got shit on me!